Welcome to week 2, day 1 of your stretching and posture class. Okay, so just a little reminder about how to do these classes. So each week you're going to be getting 2 separate classes that are different from each other. The idea is to do one, do the second one, and then if you want to repeat, you start over the first class again. So you can do these each 3 times each in a week, and then take a rest day, and that would be enough for a whole week's worth of movement. I know it seems a little tedious to repeat, but again, think about being committed and doing them regularly versus getting a whole bunch of different exercises. Honestly, with these kind of things, with like general stretching and posture, most of the time you don't need crazy different things every week. You just need to be consistent about getting movement in your body. And if you have any questions, concerns, feel free to email me. My email's at the bottom of the email you got. It was from me, so feel free to respond at any time and ask me how to do this or how to make it work for you. Okay, so let's get started. So this week, you're gonna need a wall and a chair that doesn't roll, so not your desk chair necessarily, and just about this much space. You really don't need much more than that. If you're having problems with wall space, closing a door can work, and with giving what we're using it for today, you really just need enough space for your hands to be on the wall, nothing more than that. Okay, let's start off with some breathing. So we're gonna do standing up tall. You're gonna take your arms up, you're gonna look up and you're gonna inhale, and then you're gonna exhale, arms wide and down, really opening up that chest, opening up that back. Good. And then again, inhale, arms wide, wide, wide and up. Imagine you're running them along the wall behind you, looking up, getting some neck range of motion. And exhale, wide, 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 all the way down. Let's do one more. So you're gonna reach wide and up, look up, inhale. And exhale, arms wide, 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 all the way down. Good. Okay, we're gonna get those shoulders next. So you're gonna go arms straight out to the sides. We're gonna do big circles. So forward circles. 3, 4, 5, and then we're gonna switch directions. Big circles. If you feel a little pop crack, not a big deal. If it's painful, just make a smaller circle. One more. And then we're gonna go little circles. So straight out to your side, and we're just gonna do little circles. And switch direction, going backwards. Good. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do, let me take down my collar, is some neck range of motion. So it's really common if you're sitting a lot, whether it's computer or driving or whatever it is, to kind of have this kind of head position, really hard on your neck. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna stand up nice and tall, and we're gonna look up, and we're gonna look down. And what I want you to think about is when you bring your head back, instead of kind of just dropping your head back like this, is to bring your chin up as high as you can. So I'm bringing my chin up to the ceiling, very different here versus relaxing it back this way. So I'm purposely pushing, you'll feel a little stretch along the front, you might feel a little compression in the back of the neck, and then bring it down, and then I want you to tuck your chin and come chin to chest. Let me say that without my chin tucked. You're gonna tuck your chin and then bring your chin to your chest. So again, it's different than just kind of hanging my head forward. It's tucking like a cinnamon roll and rolling. So you're kind of pushing your chin down and pushing your chin towards your collarbone. That's gonna use the muscles in your neck and it's gonna stretch the ones in the back. And the same thing when you go up, if you actually push up with your chin, you're gonna use the muscles in the back and stretch the muscles in the front. Now when you look up, if you feel pinch or pain in your neck, just go short of that. The good thing is doing this a few times, that may relieve a little bit of that pinching, and it's actually a good thing for your neck in general. So just go short of the pinch, and hopefully you'll find as we do a few that it alleviates that pain. So let's go ahead and work again. We're gonna do 5 of them. So you're gonna look the chin up, high as you can, and then tuck chin to chest. Really tuck, 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 and go up again, and down. And when you tuck, if you feel a little shaking, that's okay. And go up. That just means those muscles haven't been worked in a while. Getting a stretch in the front, and tuck the chin, roll your chin towards your chest. You'll feel a little choke in the throat, that's normal. Let's go up again, chin to the ceiling, and tuck the chin down. Good. All right, we're gonna do all of those again. So we're gonna go big, deep breath, arms wide, making as big of a circle as you can. Look up, inhaling, and exhale, wide arms all the way down. Good. Let me give you a side view. You want to pretend, go ahead, inhale and bring your arms up. That your arms are against a wall behind you. And all the way down. So not in front, keep them back here. Let's gonna help with your upper back posture a lot. One more big inhale, look up, arms up, and exhale as you bring the arms all the way down in a circle. Good, let's do the arm circles. So we're gonna go forward, big arm circles. Again, if you feel any pinching, any crack pop, just shorten up the circle a little bit. Crack pop without pain is not a big deal. It's not a good thing, but it's not a big deal. Okay, then we're gonna go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, now we're gonna do little ones. So we're actually doing 10 of these. And backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You might feel a little burn in the shoulder while you do that. Totally normal, good thing. Okay, let's do the neck. So again, you're going chin up, reach it to the ceiling, feel stretch. And tuck the chin a lot, double chin, choke in the throat. And up, chin stretches towards the ceiling. And down, tuck the chin a lot, and then chin to your collarbone. Up again, chin to the ceiling. Tuck the chin, chin to your collarbone. 2 more, chin up to the ceiling, keep breathing. Tuck the chin, roll it to your collarbone. 1 more, chin up to the ceiling. And down, tuck the chin to the collarbone. Good. That's another good one if you are sitting a lot, when you have a little mini break, whether you're just send an email off or you're at a red light. Doing some of those can really help your neck from getting too stiff all day long. Okay, moving on to our next set. So we're gonna do some lat movements, and then we're gonna do some hip flexor stretches. So we're actually gonna sit in the chair for this lat movement. I'm gonna kind of turn mine. So the first thing you wanna do is reach forward, and what we're doing is we're stretching out your lat, which goes from kind of your low back up to your armpit. You're gonna reach forward, thumbs up, and curl your back like this in the way that we think about as bad posture. You're gonna curl and reach, and then relax. And then we're gonna go off 45 degrees. So if I'm sitting straight in my chair, we're gonna go this way. Again, reaching thumbs up and curl your back, breathe, and come up. And then we're gonna go to the other side. Curl the back, reach, thumbs up. Try to get your arms as straight as you can. And back up. Good. You should feel some good stretching, good pulling back here. All right, next thing is gonna be a hip flexor stretch. We're gonna stand using our chair. You're gonna put your foot up on your chair. You're gonna reach up, look up, and you're actually gonna push your hip forward. So if you just went here and did this, you probably wouldn't feel a whole lot. But when you bring your hip forward, you should feel a good pull in the front. And then by reaching up, we get a little bit more. We're just gonna breathe here for 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Good. Come on back. We're gonna switch sides. Up, hips forward, feel that stretch. Big breath. 1, 2, 3. Good. Another good one if you sit a lot. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to that lat stretch. So we're gonna go forward, hold, breathe, curl your back, reach forward, thumbs up, and come back up. And then 45 degrees, almost over your knee. Reach, thumbs up, curl your back, breathing the whole time. Come back up. And then 45 degrees this way, reach, thumbs up, breathe. And come back up. Nice. These are also great ones, again, if you sit all day, that you can do in and around your chair. Okay, next thing is going to be some thoracic rotation. So this is getting at your upper back. So I'm gonna kind of turn here. So what you're gonna do is arms up kind of like W's, and you're gonna rotate in your chair. Now, the key here is that your hips stay right here. So your feet are planted, and you're rotating your shoulders on top of your hips. So you rotate, and what you can do is if you're sitting in a chair that has a back like this, once you get here, you can kind of hook your arm and just pull just a little bit extra and come back. And then let's go the other way. Pull. You don't want to like pull hard. Go back to the first side again. You're just giving a little bit, just maybe another centimeter of movement. Most of it comes from your muscles. Good. And then go the other way. And if you don't have a chair like this, not a problem. If you can't reach here, just rotate and just pull, pull, pull. One more on this side, and make sure to look with the movement. And relax. Good. Again, great one if you sit a lot. Okay, next we're doing some balance. So, depending on how good your balance is, you can do this just standing, or you can use the chair to help you. So if you're pretty wobbly, if you can't stand here for more than 5 seconds without touching down, use a chair to help you, because it's better to get the work done than to be just falling out of it the whole time. Also, just tapping your toe down is totally fine. If I have an wobbly second, I'll just tap my toe. But if you're finding that you're like putting your foot down and kind of getting out of it, that's not really what we want. Okay, so we're gonna do 30 seconds. Pick either side, doesn't matter, and go. Oh, see, I almost fell. So you can do hands on hips. You can do hands out to the sides. I don't really care. You can put your hands on your head for all I care. These two positions, though, I find if you're a little wobbly, can be stabilizing. For me, I like this one. This other foot, I like to pull it up in front of me. I find it a little more difficult to do. It puts a little more strain on this leg. But you can absolutely just hold it down at your side. You can kick your leg back up like this. You can do hula dance, can, whatever it is, for all I care. Okay, let's go ahead and switch sides. Again, so you can either pull the knee up, leave it down here, pull the foot up back behind you, whatever works. As long as you're balancing, that's the big idea. Another thing to find is if you're challenged with your balance, if you find a spot on the floor that doesn't move and just stare at it, your balance will stabilize a little bit more. So moving your head around and looking is more difficult, basically. A few more seconds here, breathe, and relax. Nice, okay. This is the one thing we're gonna use the wall for. We're gonna do a push-up on the wall. Now, push-ups are great for opening up the chest, using these muscles. Basically, all of your posture muscles get used a little bit. So, I'm gonna use the wall this way, but to give you an idea of what it looks like, hands are on the wall, and then the more you walk your feet out, the little more difficult it is. So the more you are out here on your toes, it's harder, a little bit easier here. We're gonna do 10 of them today. So you may start further away and then have to get closer. Not a big deal, just do what works for you. So, hands are about at the height of the shoulders. You don't really want them much higher or much lower than that. I'm gonna walk my feet out, and then we're gonna do push-ups into the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. One more thing you can watch out there is that your hands are flat against the wall. The hands kind of want to bow out to the pinky side, or your fingers are kind of curled. Try to get them as flat as you can. Okay, we're going to start back over with this one. Rotating with the arms here or pulling on the chair, and we're just going to go back and forth 5 times. So look with it. Rotate the other way. Look with it. To the first side again, keeping those hips stable, okay? Back the other way, look with it, switch again, feet are flat, and switch, feeling it in the mid to upper back, switch, and switch. Good, okay, back up to balance. Use the chair if you need it, don't use it if you don't, and go. If you have pretty good balance, and this is not hard for you, you can close your eyes. You can move your head side to side. It's actually pretty difficult to move your eyes while staying balanced. You can close your eyes, I think I said that, which is really difficult. But those are ways to up it. If you need more help, again, hand on the chair. Okay, switch sides. Now what you want to do is, if you are using the chair, try to use it the least amount possible. So if you can do one finger and use it for balance, it's surprising how much that one finger can really help. If you need to put your whole hand on it, that's fine too. Or if you want to use the wall, that's fine too. But again, just try to use it the least amount, because you still want to challenge your balance a little bit. That's kind of the whole point. A few more seconds, breathing normal. And relax. Nice, let's go back to the wall. We're gonna do 10 more push-ups, and now after this first set, you can kind of tell where you're at. Do you need to go further away? Do you need to go closer? Again, making sure your hands are about shoulder width, and then the hands are flat against the wall. Okay, ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice, we're gonna do one more round of these. This is the meat in our sandwich of movement today, so we're doing a lot of this stuff. And we're gonna go rotations, feet are flat. You can even put your hips all the way to the back of the chair if you want to keep it from moving. And we're gonna look off to the side, rotate, see if you can get a little further this time, and switch the other way. Switch, looking, pushing a little more. Switch, just nice gentle movement. Switch. You might find you go more one way than the other, really normal. Switch, but you do want to work on the side switch that doesn't go as far. You might push that one a little bit more as you go. Switch. Switch. I also think about leading with my elbow, like my elbow's pulling me back. And switch one more time. Pull with the elbow. And relax. Good. You should be feeling that in your upper back for sure right now. Okay, last set of balance. Find where you're challenged but successful. And go. Again, you can hold onto the wall, hold on to the chair. If you need more, you can close your eyes, you can move your head back and forth. Even just looking around with your eyes is a little more difficult. If you're having trouble with your balance, I want you to think about all 4 corners of your foot stay strong and stable into the ground. So both sides of your heel and your big toe and pinky toe stay strong into the ground. If you can root all 4 corners of your foot down, you can get much more stable. And switch sides. So before you even start, root the 4 corners down into the ground. Now bring your leg up. Because what you'll feel is if you're struggling, your foot wobbles. So your weight shifts from out to in, forward, back, whichever way it is. And that's part of that instability. So if you can get your foot to stay strong and flat, it can really make a difference. This is also why I like this series to be barefoot. I'm using shoes because I'm in a public place, but barefoot is harder than in shoes. And relax. It makes your muscles work more. Okay, wall push-ups, 10 of them again. Hands at shoulder height. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. One more thing you notice with the push-ups is the further away, you kind of have to get up onto the balls of your feet. So if your heels are down and you're doing it and you need more, get up onto your toes so that your body weight leans into the push-up more. All right. Next thing we're going to do is using the chair as a sit to stand. So what I want you to do is start seated. Your feet are going to be underneath your knees. So you notice that my ankle is not directly underneath my knee, it's actually back a little bit. Because when you stand up from a chair, you don't stand up like this. That's really hard to do. You're gonna get back underneath you. Again, all 4 corners of your foot are flat. So your heels are on the ground, your toes are on the ground. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna keep your feet flat, keep your toes on the ground. Sometimes I wanna curl or come up. Keep them flat, and you're just gonna stand. Now the next time we go down, we're gonna push our hips back like we're reaching to the back of the chair, and we're just gonna tap the chair and then come back up. Tap the chair, come back up. We're gonna keep going like this. Now what I want you to think about is what are your toes and your feet doing? Are your toes curling as you go down, or are they lifting up off the ground at any point? Are your heels coming off the ground? Those are things we really want to avoid. And you'll get more activation up your legs if your feet are stable and strong on the ground. One more. And we're going to end back down. Great. This is another way that if you are sitting and you're somewhere where you don't really have a lot of space to move around, but you can at least sit to stand, it's a great exercise to do. Okay. We're going to stay seated for this. Now we're going to move our ankles around a little bit. So, kind of holding one up. I like to hold like this. You can just hold it out here if you want. But we're going to pull the toes back and really pulling everything back. And then we're going to push down, and I want you to curl your toes. actually going to take my shoe off for this one. So getting lots of ankle range of motion. You're going to pull your toes back, and then you're going to push down and curl your toes. We're just going to go back and forth, just holding it for about 2 seconds. And you may think like, oh, if you're driving, you know, I do this all day long, but you don't really engage the toes as much, honestly. And getting those to kind of lead the movement of curling down and pull up. And if you feel a little cramp, just stop short of the cramp. One more on this side, pull up, and curl down and relax. Switch to the other side, and let's go up. So if you're feeling that cramp and curl down, usually that's just muscles that are not used very much, pull up. If movement causes the cramp, just keep going back and forth here, holding for about 2 seconds. If movement causes the cramp, usually it's the muscles needing to be used more. If you're just sitting there and all of a sudden something cramps, that's completely different, or if it's in the middle of the night. But this kind of cramp, especially in the feet, usually means you don't really do this motion very often. I find curling the toes often leads to cramping in people who don't use their feet a lot. One more, up and down. Leading with the toes, curl the toes. Good, and relax. All right, put my shoe back on for this. So we're gonna go back to the sit to stand. So from where you are, feet flat, they're about hip width apart. Again, back underneath you just a little bit. Heels are on the ground, toes are on the ground, toes are flat. Let's stand up. You can do hands on hips, you can reach it forward. I want you to reach back in your chair. So you're not sitting to the edge like this, you're sitting all the way back. And I want you to lead with your hips. Now, I don't want you to worry too much about keeping your chest up. If you lean your hips back, something has to balance forward. So it's okay to lean your chest down a little bit. We don't need to be sitting straight up like this as we sit down. That's really kind of unnatural. Just let your body do what it's gonna do. Kind of just relax in your upper body. Let your lower body do the work. Think more about your feet. Staying flat and reaching to the mid back of the chair. One more. Good, okay. And then as we're sitting, one leg, you're gonna pull the toes back, ankle back, and point it down. Let's just go back and forth. If this isn't hard for you, you don't feel any cramping during this, another thing you can do is try to spread your toes as you do both. So you pull up and spread your toes, and you curl down and spread your toes, which is actually pretty difficult to do. Definitely do this one barefoot. If you wear dress shoes or any kind of pointed shoes, this is gonna be really important for you. Last one, and curl down. Okay, switch sides. Again, I'm not gonna do it because I'm in a public place. It's kind of gross. And curl, spread if you can. Hopefully you'll notice that cramping is starting to lighten up a little bit. Or you can just go a little further into the motion without feeling the cramp. Again, not a bad thing. Kind of just lean lightly into the cramp, just short of it actually cramping. And that little bit of discomfort should lighten as you go. A few more. Good, okay. Moving on, so our last coupled series here is we're gonna do marching in place. So, feet about hip width apart, and marching is gonna look like this. So you get the knee up to hip level. This is not as good as this. And I want you to make sure to use your arm. So you should go opposite arm and leg together. You can bend the elbow, do this, whatever feels natural to you, but those little extra movements really add up. We're gonna do this for 45 seconds. Make sure you stand up tall, continue to breathe normally, and go. High knee marching in place. Again, this is the kind of thing where it doesn't seem like a lot, but it really can add up. It's just like going on a walk, but much more exaggerated. It's also really good for your core to do these kind of opposite arm and leg movements. Our core muscles do a lot of cross body, opposite arm and leg, and so we don't really use them very often. Sometimes when we walk, we tend to walk but we're like holding things, holding a cup or a phone, or our hands are in our pocket. So we don't really get this kind of exaggerated opposite arm leg, which is really great for our whole system. Breathing, stay up tall, For you, I want eyes on the horizon. 5 more seconds. And relax. Good. Next, we're going to do kind of a chair plank. So you're going to use the back of your chair, hands on it like this, and kind of like the push-up, you're just going to walk your feet back to wherever feels a bit challenging. I do want you to be up on your toes, even if you're close. And you'll notice, even if you're pretty close to it, if you go up on your toes and kind of straighten your hips out, you'll feel a little bit of activation in your core. And then the more you go back, the more you feel that, hopefully. So we're going to hold this for 30 seconds and go. Breathing, I want you to look up. Pull the hips forward if you can. If you can use a mirror to see where your hips at, because being bent like this is not half as hard as having your hips forward. Breathe. You can also use a desk. It doesn't have to be a chair, countertop, whatever you have, table of any kind. And relax. Okay, we're gonna do 3 sets of that. So march and go. Should be breathing a little heavier right now. That's kind of the goal here. Get a little bit of blood flow. Knees are getting up high, swinging the arms, marching the arms. Let your shoulders relax and move into the motion. Often we walk when we're very stiff. This is kind of an exaggerated, let your shoulders move, let your whole body get into the motion. Get the blood flow going. Breathe. Again, you can control the pace here. I'm going to do my pace, you do your pace. But I will say you're not doing this program because you want it to be easy. Breathe and relax. Good. Going into the plank again. So hands ideally are right at shoulder height, and you just kind of lean forward. Walk your feet back up on the toes and go. Eyes up. Breathe. Make sure your hips are in line with your body if you can. You really want to stay tall. One thing I'm noticing with my chair is that it's sliding. So you might need to brace your chair up against something, or use a counter or a table, whatever you've got. Really think about breath. Trying to breathe as normal as possible. And relax. Good. Last go around, okay? We're gonna do 45 seconds of marching, 30 seconds plank, and then you are done. And go. Get those arms moving, get those knees up, let the shoulders go with the motion. Breathe. Something else you can concentrate on is trying to keep your body in the middle. So not really kind of going back and forth. Try to keep your core, your belly button in the same spot as your arms and legs move. Really difficult to do, get some more core work. Breathing, head up, eyes on the horizon, thinking about your posture always during this class. Breathing and posture. 10 more seconds, you got it. And relax. Nice. Last thing. Back to the plank. And go. You can squeeze your butt a little bit to make sure that your hips are forward. Stay tall out of your shoulders. You don't want to kind of sink down here. Get up tall. Push the object away, whether it's table, sliding chair, whatever it is. Breathe. Tall, proud chest. Few more seconds. And relax. All right. That's the conclusion of day 1 of week 2. Good job on completing the classes and the walking program so far. Like I said in the beginning, if you have any concerns or questions or are just struggling with how to make this work, please email me, bthornton@atlasergo.com. And other than that,